Apparently Linda knows a lot of languages, including German and French, which I think is really awesome, especially since she is actually fluent in Latvian, English, and Russian. So good for you. That's a hell of a lot more than me. I'm mostly good at English and bad English, which is a joke I stole from The Fifth Element because that's an awesome movie. When I was younger, and admittedly still today, I wanted to learn Latin so that way I could have a conversation with somebody, and when a third person came along and asked us what language that was, I could turn to them all deadpan and say, "It's Latin, you cretin." That attitude probably explains why I didn't have a whole lot of friends when I was younger. I kind of wish that American schools put a lot more emphasis on learning other languages because I kind of feel like I missed out on that. The older you get, the harder it is to learn a language. I've tried a couple of times, like with Latin, and it just doesn't really click for me. So I was wondering, what other languages do you guys out there know, and what about them do you particularly enjoy or despise, one or the other? I'd definitely be very interested to hear about it because, like I said, I don't know any other languages except for the two. On a related note, I've always wondered how they taught different subjects in different countries, most especially history, specifically World War II, because I got to imagine as the last great big war that involved a whole lot of countries, that the various nuances with which countries teach that probably says a lot about them. For example, in America, I mostly hear about Blitzkrieg and the rise of the Nazi Party, a quick brief mention of the Battle of Britain, and then it kicks off with the Battle of Pearl Harbor and pretty much focuses on the American efforts there. And it wasn't until I grew up and became an adult and found Wikipedia and so on that I learned about all this other stuff going on in the rest of the world, and it really feels like a bit of a loss to me. So let me know what you guys focused on in your history classes, just so that we can kind of compare and contrast and maybe get a fuller picture of what went on during that period. And finally, Nathan talked a little bit about the microphones he uses. I don't go nearly as specialized as that. I mostly have just this $100 blue microphone, which is multi-purpose. In the comments section, I talked about how microphones tend to be very simple and just straightforward, which for the most part they are, but apparently these multi-purpose ones are a little bit different. This one, for example, has USB out and headphones out. It's got a volume knob, mute button. On the back it's got a gain control, which is really kind of handy, and then a pattern little switchery-do thing here. You can get two-way, cardioid, whatever it's called when it's all around, and then there's another one with two circles sort of intersecting. I don't remember which one that's called because I never ever use it. I mostly just use the cardioid. Anyway, you've almost never heard this thing on any of my vlogs because I don't know how to figure out how to work it in with my editing software because I suck at it. But I did do one voiceover in a video where I had some shots panning across this valley from when I went and took pictures with my uncle, and so I got to use that on that. I also use it to record music because it's very versatile, and while not exactly designed for that, it serves a purpose, so maybe you'll actually hear some of that in this video, possibly not, depends on how much I like it after having not recorded anything for a while. I haven't recorded anything for a while, mostly because I'm in a bit of a creative funk, but we'll see.